who are in their late 20s are faced with so much pressure, either from the society or from their family. Well, this is what we are going to be talking about. We really want to know, why is there so much pressure on women who are in their late 20s? On this note, I welcome you to On This Table. On This Table is a show where we'll bring you issues confronting life and the world at large, and of course, bring possible solutions to these life issues. My name is Joy Dixon. The conversation continues. Let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
KINGSPRIMETV is a one-stop entertainment website for live sports, news, reality shows, and top-notch Nollywood movies. Log in to our website www.kingsprimetv.com or download our app on any of our iOS devices or your Android phones, any one of them. Just download and you get your movies and all entertainment stuff just the way you like it. Welcome again to KINGSPRIMETV.
Welcome back. So we are going to look at these pressures. We want to know why women who are in their late 20s are faced with so much pressure to get married. Why does the society put so much pressure on women who are in their late 20s? With me to talk about this is Mrs. Chioma Collins Alozie. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank
You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
I don't know, but my guests, they just have this, I don't know, they look so charming. They have this aura that makes me excited to want to talk to them. Okay.
Thank you so much. You're flattering me.
Okay, so straight to business.
Yeah.
Now, women who are older women in their late 20s, they're faced with this pressure to get married. I mean, is there really so much pressure? I mean, would you say, from your own point, do you think that there's so much pressure on these ladies who are in their late 20s to get married?
Honestly, I will say there are. You know, first of all, the society we find ourselves in already has put an age limit and then brackets for marriage.
Okay.
And then nature itself also placed a woman in a situation whereby when we get to a certain age, you start thinking of marriage.
Okay.
You know, we know that parents, most times when we get to late 20s, getting into 30s, they start asking you, what's happening?
What's happening, yeah?
Is there nobody? So these are parental pressures. So definitely there are pressures on women.
So why is it that the society puts so much pressure on ladies who are in their late 20s to get married? Is there a particular reason why the society puts so much pressure on them?
I think it is because of the way nature is, the way God made it.
Okay.
You know, normally a woman has to sit and wait for a man to come to ask for her hand in marriage.
Okay.
Then, but the man is the one that goes to do the asking. So if the man doesn't come, you just have to wait.
Okay.
And when the woman waits till late 20s and no man comes, 30s, she starts being edgy. That even if she doesn't react, the mother wants to remind her
that she's getting old.
It's true.
Yeah.
The next thing, my mates have gone for their daughter's wedding. What are you waiting for?
I am not going to dispute it. I know there was a time when, after our morning devotion, my mom had to ask me. She was like, "Come, is it that they are not coming or what?" I was so embarrassed. Like, so now I am now a topic.
That is it. That is it. Mine, at a point, one of my elder sisters, my mother had to ask her, "Come, I'm not the one that is going to marry you. I hope you're not planning to stay here with me." You know, as if it depends so much on the woman. And it doesn't. That's the truth. But the truth is that women shouldn't let that pressure them into just any marriage.
Okay. So men now, are they faced with this kind of pressure? or it's just women? So the society also pressurize men into getting married when they're in their late 20s or early 30s or something.
It does, but not to this extent.
Why? Is it not the society being partial?
I don't think so. But if you want to look at it as being partial, it may sound negative.
Okay.
The truth is that, you know, the way God made it, man is the head.
Okay.
You know, initially he made man, he said it was good. Then the next thing we had was that because man was alone, we saw he tried to name animals, and after he said none was found compatible. God now said it's not good for the man to be alone. So the woman now had to come in a help suitable.
Okay.
So actually, it is the man that rises to look for. So the little pressure that comes on the man comes only because you have to get married. Some of them, we've seen some get married at the, you know, that late 20s, middle 20s, 30s, some 40s, some 50s. In fact, it has to get to 50s before they begin to raise an eyebrow. But for the woman, once it is going to 26, 28, they begin to look at you. You understand? Is anything wrong? It is just because the man has to do the asking, the woman has to wait.
Okay.
So it's not as if the society is partial, but it's more of a man world. And the woman has to wait until he comes. Until he comes.
Okay. Okay. Why the woman has to wait? Do women also put pressure on themselves to get married?
They do.
Okay.
They do. In fact, I can tell from my own experience. You know, I didn't really marry that early. So somehow it got to a point that I was asking myself, is it me that have placed that have made it difficult for the man to
like
come?
You have built walls.
In fact, some people tell me I did. So I had to start asking myself that. But the truth remains that most times it's not about the pressure we mount on ourselves, but women do mount pressures.
Okay.
Sometimes when our friends get married, we think we should be getting married at the same time. But the truth is that God didn't make it like that for everybody. There are times everybody's morning hour is not the same. Somebody can get married at early 20s, some late 20s, some early 30s, some late 30s, even 40s. And it's still okay. You understand? So it's not something that we should be pressured into. The beautiful thing is when it happens, let it be the one that brings joy and peace.
Okay. So I'm sure there are risk factors. So what are the risk factors? I mean, what are the things this pressure? What does it do to women?
First, it makes them. First of all, it makes a woman want to flirt, to draw attention.
Okay.
And we know that every reasonable man sees a flirt as somebody that is not serious. Yes. And it may put her in a position of looking as if she's not wife material. Then another risk factor is that when the pressure comes and we don't, you know, try to control it and put ourselves on check, you might enter the wrong hand. And then you'll be married, you hear stories of after 1 year, 3 months they are divorced. She'll be asking herself, who even brought me to this? It is pressure that caused that too. Okay,
so there are regrets it's possible that a woman would, but I mean, talking about flirting, is it not you being showing the green light to know that, okay, see you, I'm single, I'm available? Does it necessarily mean that, okay, me flirting means that I'm wayward or I'm not a wife material?
You know, flirting in the real sense of the word doesn't connote something positive like that.
Okay.
If you're showing the green light is different. You understand?
Okay, so let's really understand it. What is the difference between throwing a green light and then flirting?
When the man, you know, women are very sensitive.
Of course.
So when you see that the man is interested in you and obviously is looking for something beyond just ordinary relationship, you should also let him know that you've understood his language, and then try not to play the hard to get. I don't know if you understand.
Okay, but they say women who play hard to get end up losing men that comes their way.
That is what I'm saying. So if you play hard to get, the man may go. He might think that maybe this one is not meant for me. But if you just calm down and give him the impression that, well, you understand, I'm there, even though I may not come after you, but I'm just there. You understand? That's a kind of green light. You understand? So, but if you try to play hard to get, it's not every man that are good pursuers. We know that most men are. So most times when you try to play hard to get, it keeps some that are not that dogged in pursuing. They will just look elsewhere. They just look elsewhere. But it doesn't mean that that one is not good enough.
Okay.
So it's not always good to play hard to get. Show the green lights. It's not by, you don't need to flirt to do that.
Okay. Now, okay, we're talking about the man being the one to approach the woman.
Yes.
What if the woman approaches the man? I mean, time is going, and I mean, is it wrong to say, see, bros, I like you, I want to marry you?
Honestly, I liked this question. Do you know why? I've had some male friends that confided in me why they left the beautiful, nice girls that they would have loved to marry. Is that they felt that they were too forward by being the one asking, as in trying to compel them to talk.
Yes, okay.
You understand? You know, every man, when you begin to mount pressure, they feel like there's something. No man wants to be caged. So it's always good to make yourself available, yes, but at the same time, allow him to make up his mind.
What if he's wasting time? I mean, there are some men that feel that they are not ready, and then you're wasting my time.
Move on with your life, for God's sake. It means that if he's not ready, he's not ready.
Okay.
So you're telling him wouldn't make him change his mind.
Okay.
If he does and asks for your hand, it might be because you pressured him. Tomorrow he will tell you, if not that you did like this.
Okay.
Any little pressure that comes into the marriage, you have the blame.
Okay.
You know. So, but if you allow him, let him make up his mind. You know that most times they always have alternative B. I always call it alternative B. They have this person, but underneath there's somebody else. If this one doesn't work, yes, most of them, you know. But eventually, when they settle for you, they have looked well. Do you understand? My husband will always say that every man is selfish in nature when it comes to making a choice of a life partner. The man knows where he's going. He looks out for who has that quality, who is going towards the same direction with me, and with whom will I be able to achieve this. They look at all that. So when he's thinking and you feel that he's somebody said dilly-dallying, allow him. When he makes, you know, we know the normal time that you feel that this man is just wasting time for nothing. But if he's actually trying to think, to, you know, work things through, allow him. Okay. Don't pressure him. When you pressure a man, you kind of drive him out.
Okay. So we're still talking about this today. We'll dig into this thing. Okay. Let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
King's Prime TV, your one-stop entertainment platform for live sport, news, top-notch Nollywood movies. Please log on to www.kingsprimetv.com or download our app from the Google Play Store or iOS to get entertainment just the way you like it.
Welcome back. So we have been talking about women who are in their late 20s and the pressure placed on them to get married. I still have Mrs. Chioma Collins Alozie in the house. Wow, okay. We are really scattering tables today. Okay. Now, this pressure, does it make women come out as being so desperate?
It does. It does. I remember I have a friend in the when I was an undergraduate. Before we graduated, there's this guy that, you know, she got engaged with. And it was because of this same pressure we're talking about, parental pressure this time. You know, in a family of 8, there are 7 girls, and she happened to be the oldest. And the mother kept pressuring her, get married. If you don't, it will affect your sisters. And to her, when I asked her, she was like, I'm not really sure I like this guy, but my mom wants me to. So, but along the line, you know, that made her, she can't even look at what she wants. Even when the guy, you know, misbehaves and tries to, you know, sit on her, maltreat her, she will go back to beg the guy. So she became so desperate to make sure that this guy doesn't leave me. So, but along the line, God helped her because it didn't really work. And today she's happily married with somebody else.
Okay.
Now, desperation comes because pressure comes from the society, from the parents, and then nature.
Okay.
You understand? You know, most times, I don't know if you've heard women say, ladies say, time no day.
Yeah.
So they normally use a slogan that, you know, they say there's no time again. But the point is this: we shouldn't allow that natural pressure, parental pressure, even societal pressure, to push us into a marriage that we are not ready for, and it's not. We didn't really think through.
Okay.
Because most times there will always be regret afterwards.
Okay. So when ladies say there's no time, what exactly do they mean?
You know, science tells us that at age 45,
okay,
a woman menopause sets in, a woman stops menstruating. So the chances of having a child is very slim. You know, and then when a woman begins to check, she's 30 now. She's 30 something, going to 40. She needs to ask herself, when will I now get married? Then when will I have my children? Then I will now raise them. You know, but the truth of the matter is that the society we find ourselves in these days, I don't know whether you've known, I've heard several women beyond 40, 45, 50,
yeah, 50
had healthy children. In fact, science tells us too that at 35, the quality of a woman's egg has depreciated. The eggs are mostly shriveled. They don't come out wholesome. You need to have like Down syndrome children and all that. But I've seen several, even at 45, 50, 50 something, have sound children. So we shouldn't let such pressure, you know, move us like that. We should allow, God only has a time for everybody.
Of course.
Yeah.
So does it actually does it make women settle for just anything or anybody?
It does.
Okay.
It does, and that is why we have to be careful. It does. You know, you see a woman, even when you're telling the person, I'm not sure this person is good enough. I'm not sure. Why not just wait till you say, the next thing you hear is, wait for what? Have I not waited enough? Okay. You know, they say, is it when you begin to see gray hairs, then you will now agree that I've waited? But the point remains, we should wait. God has time for everybody. And I can tell you, because I've seen that age can be renewed, can be rejuvenated. It's only a number. Yes. It can be rejuvenated. I had a niece at 22. She got married. For the first 3 years, she didn't have an issue. And we are wondering, this one I'm married there. You know, what's happening? So, but do you know, one of my younger sisters now got married after her, in her 30s. Before, she just had her first son. You know, so age is only a number. You know, when it comes to, you know, the pressure, we shouldn't let it affect us, because there is always a way out. Just trust God. Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask. They say that women who are in their late 20s, 30s, and so on, that the reason why they don't get married early is because they are selective. So, well, how true is that?
There is truth to that, but it's not always the case. I remember that when I graduated, I think 3-4 years after, I had calls that were asking me, what's happening? Why are you not yet married? Are you selecting? Is it that they are coming and you're selective? And I knew that's not the case with me. But we know that there are people that are selective.
Okay, so now that's being selective. What do they mean when they ask you that?
What they mean is that maybe the men are coming asking for my hand in marriage. Maybe I'll look at it and say, is it handsome? Is it tall? Is it like this? Does he have money? That's what they mean. As in, I have a kind of laid down rules, principles, and then attributes. Maybe I was looking out for. That's what they think. But that wasn't the truth with me. That was, I think my own was a clear case of God's timing. Yeah. I think that was just mine, because as soon as it was time, he told me, get ready, it was time. Just a few months after, my husband came.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
This is a story. Wow. Wow. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they are selective.
It doesn't.
Okay. Now you said that yours was a case of God's typing. Let's share that experience with us a little. Let's have a feel of it.
Wow. Okay, I'm always happy to share it at any time, though it's so personal. You know.
No, you can keep some details.
Oh,
yes.
Right. When I prayed, I got to know God early. So I was like, I want to get married at the age of 25. You know, because I wanted to avoid this late 20s thing. You know. So, but at 25, no husband, I moved on. And I want to still say something here that a woman shouldn't just be idle. Don't just be idle. Just sit back and fold your hands and wait for the man to come. Just get busy. Just continue. Put your heart in what you love doing. You'll enjoy your life. So that when he comes, you wouldn't regret the times. So when he eventually, normally as a Christian, I'll pray. We'll go for marriage seminars, counselings and all that. When I was expecting it to happen, it didn't happen. I removed my mind. I just went on with my life. I moved on. Then all of a sudden, one morning like that, I think when I was having my quiet time, I just had, Chioma, prepare for your marriage.
Wow.
You know, and this is just what I said. I was just like, wow, as in an information. So I just kept quiet. I think 3 months after, he repeated that. By the 5th month, my husband came. But at that point, it looked too good to be true. So I was like, let me be looking at him. And he came straight to the point. He didn't beat about the bush. And it was now even the church that had to delay us in the course of the courtship. So, but it happened, and my heart was just set on, let me just do what I love doing, pleasing God. And it just happened.
All right. Really very interesting story. Okay, so for you, do you think age should be a criterion for women to get married?
Age is only a number. It shouldn't be a criterion. One, there are people that you presume that they should be wise enough, to be ready for marriage. But when they get married, you begin to, wonder, but you're matured, age-wise. Then there are some too that are that early 20s, that are already matured, ready for marriage.
Okay.
So when it begins to get into late 20s, 30s, 40s, we shouldn't panic. Do you understand? We shouldn't panic. God has a time for everybody, I always say. So age is only a number. A friend of mine asked, she said, well, if at this age I'm not yet married, is there any man in this my age, she was telling me about herself, that will still be single by this time? It sounds funny, yes. Yeah, it sounds funny, but the truth is that from my own experience, when the time sets, you see that there is a man that has been waiting for you.
So every woman has a husband.
As a husband, just relax.
So how about those people that will never get married?
Except like when, at a point, I thought maybe I should be classified like that. But, sorry, I had to share my personal experience. I keep hearing God telling me, you have to change what you said. Something's happened to somebody. So I now felt, I don't want to marry so that I don't make mistake. I was in my year 2. When I heard the Holy Spirit telling me, say, you have to change that thing you said. I was shocked because I didn't remember, I've forgotten about that. And I said, wow, you mean it's still there? He said, yes, it's standing as an order in heaven. So even when I graduated and left and started working, and each time I remember that, it make me know that in God's plan for me, marriage is part of it. And I knew it's a matter of time. And it happened. So there are people that are eunuchs. Just like we have male eunuchs. There are people that God, in his plan for them, there is no marriage plan. Then they will know. I know a lady. She's a pastor now. She got engaged. She shared this story with me. In fact, she wrote a book. So she shared the story with me herself. That she was engaged to be married. And she's a missionary. And she kept telling herself, instead of the marriage plans giving her joy. She kept thinking, how am I bringing this man into this relationship to just, punish him?
Okay, we need to drink water and then calm down for this story. Okay, let's take a breather. We'll be right back after this break.
My name is Bukola. I'm a dedicated wife. I'm blessed with 2 beautiful children. I am the creator and the creative director of In Between I Stand. And the beautiful thing about the King's Prime TV is it's an app. I can decide to use it on my television. I can decide to use it on my phone. And of course I have an iPad. I can decide to use it on my iPad. There is no boring moments with the King's Prime TV, especially the way it gets me close to my culture day by day. I'm a busy mom and sometimes I just want to be on my bed alone with my laptop watching the King's Prime TV. It is the best thing ever. And I'm not connected to just one aspect of the King's Prime TV. I could decide to watch TV shows like The Big Nigerian Wedding or probably go for a series. Lots of beautiful things on the King's Prime TV.
In Africa and beyond, more and more people are finding King's Prime TV a rich hub for entertainment. With a monthly subscription fee as low as $7.99 US, you too can enjoy seamless, world-class HD entertainment that will inform, educate, entertain, and enthrall you. Join us today. Visit KingsPrimeTV.com to enter into a whole new dimension of entertainment. King's Prime TV. Entertainment just the way you like it.
Welcome back. Okay, so we just had a glass of water and we are calm now.
Yes,
so
yeah.
we want to hear the story. Go on.
Okay. When I heard that it was time, and I was wondering, does God really mean it for real this time? Because along the line things will be coming up.
Yeah.
I said I didn't want to get married. And he now said, you have to change what you said. And I said, wow, I was okay, look, I want to marry now. Then a time came when he said it was time. And he just came. Before then, I was wondering, could it really ever happen? What if it doesn't happen?
Okay, by then you weren't sure if you were going to get married or not. So is this marriage thing, is it spiritual?
If I say no, I'll be lying. Because the author of marriage is God.
Okay.
And we know that God is spirit. So marriage is spiritual.
Okay.
And that is why most people will say it might start in the flesh, but it's more of a spiritual thing. So like I was saying earlier, that's a pastor friend of mine that got engaged, because she knew that she was not meant to get married. But this pastor, she has gotten engaged. She told me that she had to go to the young man and explain everything to him. I said, please, if I marry you, I won't be a wife. That I'm more carved out. I enjoy being in missions. And when she talks like a man. You understand? Like a man, a lady that is just on her own. And she was very happy just being single. The last time I spoke with her, she's in one of these African countries. That normally, I think, it's either Senegal or so. And she's happy as a missionary, still single. So there are people that are like that. So, but when I was like, Lord, okay, if what you want from me is just to serve you like that, like people like this, no problem. So, but it will not remind me, if I want you to be like that, I wouldn't tell you to change what you said. Wow. Because words are powerful too, and that is why while we are under this pressure, we shouldn't begin to use negative words. Sometimes we'll be saying, others say, yes, it's only me now, only me that is, no, we shouldn't say those things. Always tell yourself, my time is coming. I remember this particular thing just a few weeks before that I said, he told me it is time. I remember he told me about a particular lady. That lady is so dedicated to God. that I kept praying for her that God should just give her own husband. In fact, most of us don't even remember myself. So I was just praying for her. And what I heard was, Sherman, the same way, you know, God called forth light, called forth the day of her proposal, called forth the day of her engagement, called forth the day of her introduction, and I started doing it. And as soon as I started doing it, it wasn't long. It dawned on me that I should do the same for myself. And truly, the day came into existence. So we can create with our words what is already God's plan.
Okay.
You can bring it forth.
Okay. Wow, quite interesting. Okay, so there's this norm that the only way a woman can be respected in the society is when she's married, when she's Mrs. somebody. For instance, and someone asks you, what is your name? And you say, my name is Chioma. Chioma. But once you say Mrs. Chioma, oh my goodness. So why is it that the society has placed so much respect on married women?
Well, it ought not to be so. Yeah. Marriage shouldn't, you know, attribute respect more than when somebody is still single. Because every responsible young woman, married or single, should be respected. I remember that as a young woman in the universities, my lecturers, they respect me a lot. That most times when they want to fix lectures outside the normal lecture times, they always ask me. They will tell the course reps. In fact, most times it sees that I take the course rep office. If not, they won't be entering our class. And always ask me, what do I think? If they're shouting down, you know, the way lecturers, you know, relate to students, they will just be like, Madam, what do you think? They call me Madam then. Everything is about how you comport yourself. When you are responsible and you appear so, you'll be respected. So the norm, it shouldn't be, it's wrong. It shouldn't be. Married or single, you should be respected, except you begin to be the first to disrespect yourself by maybe the things you do, the things you allow to.
Okay. So now I want to ask you, is marriage an achievement? Because this is a controversial question. Some people say marriage is not an achievement, some people say marriage is an achievement. So to you, is marriage an achievement?
Well, to the person that God has an agenda of marriage for, you have achieved something. But for that person that God has said, just, you know, move on. Do you understand? I don't have such plans for you. You didn't lose anything. So you can't say, if you can't call it an achievement for that person. Because there are other things God has placed around that person to achieve, to fulfill. He would be judging you based on that. So, but for me, you saw how he told me, change what you said. Because that was part of his plan for me. So if I didn't change it, then I have something to answer later on.
Okay, nice. Lastly, for women now who are in their late 20s and they don't have a partner yet, how do they deal with this societal pressure and pressure from their family?
Just be busy. Do you understand? Tell yourself the truth that everybody has time.
But do you know that there's a way you'll be busy and then your mom will say it's because of this work, every time they are going to this work, that's why you don't have time? Honestly,
that could happen. In fact, in my family, we were accused that, yes, not this one not being busy now, but that we love ourselves too much. That's why we refuse to get married. So they saw that we refused. And they say it's because we so much love ourselves that we don't want to break the bonds and go to other families. You know, and you know, recently I started thinking of that. It appeared to be true to an extent. You understand? But truly, there are so many things that when we think of, we shouldn't allow it to affect our judgment. When you get busy, also don't forget that it is time. Do you understand? Because it's possible too that it could be time, but you refuse to face the truth. Do you understand? Fear. There is a fear for marriage. I hope you know. Of course. That I've been longing to get married, waiting. But when it was now there, I was afraid of losing my liberty. Do you understand? You know, initially I didn't notice that was what was happening to me. I was feeling like okay, maybe it should be postponed a little. Let me still prepare.
Yes.
What am I preparing for again? But it's just, I went inside me, I now got to understand that this could be a fear of the unknown. Getting into marriage, not being sure of what I'm going to experience. So sometimes nature should make us to know that it is time, and then when the fears come, we should be able to, you know, brace ourselves to tell ourselves we should just go on. Then when it comes to the part that we have to wait for the man to come, then just wait. Do you understand? Just wait. Even if the pressure is coming from the parents and from the society, just relax. Don't let anyone pressure you into a hurried marriage or unprepared marriage. So long as you're not sure it is this person, just hold on.
Okay.
Age is only but a number.
A number, yes. So when you talk about relaxation, what should a person do to? Because when you say relax, is it just sitting down in the house and maybe pressing your phone or watching TV or something?
That's why I said get busy.
Okay.
You know, like if you're a student, focus on your academics. Then also trust God, because you can't talk about marriage without involving God. That has times that are about what we call times and seasons. He knows when. Like I said, I was busy doing what I was doing, and he told me it was time. So I only had my antennas up to know where it's going to come from, because at that point there was nobody. Then another thing, when you get busy, be nice to people. Because sometimes you see, we can be wonderful, we women. Yeah,
we're wonderful people.
We can be so wonderful that some of us are very good at snobbing the opposite sex. Yeah. That when they come, we first of all look at them from up to down. You coming to marry me, you know me. So, and sometimes you can't know men at facial value. You have to get to know them, to know the stuff they are made of. So sometimes some ladies have missed good quality men because of just sizing them, you know, up front. So when I say relax, I mean get busy. Then trust God, be nice, just be patient. That's what I mean.
Okay. So is it okay for a woman to propose to a man? Because recently that's what we have been seeing now.
Well, it's not okay.
I mean, you love this guy. I'm just...
Remember, I said something initially that marriage started from somewhere.
Okay.
God initiated marriage. So, and there is a way he made the man to be the head of the woman. So if the person the person that is coming to be a help to a man, it is the man that knows what he's looking for. Then you now come and tell him, I like you. Sometimes there are people he worked for that way, but that's not the proper way. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. There's some cases. In fact, I have a friend that was just telling me about the sister that her friend said she was the one that told, you know, they were chatting, she and the husband, when they were still getting to know each other. She was that said, I love you. And that was from there. The guy now had, you know, the courage to, you know, start getting close, and then the norm, the proper thing is allow the man.
What if the man is a shy person, or maybe he doesn't have the resources and you have the resources?
Now that's a more serious issue.
Okay. About
the resources, because it's out of place for the woman to use her money to marry herself.
Okay, that's paying bride price. But is it not you assisting? Is it not you assisting the man? He does not have.
You can assist,
and just like the society has made it, there's no time. Adiro. There's no time. And this man has, and then you're looking at it that okay, time is going, and me, I have the money. So is it wrong for me to bring out the money and say, okay, use this and pay my bride price?
It's wrong for the bride price. You know, bride price is not the celebration.
Okay. Yeah.
Let the man source for the money.
What if it takes like 2, 3, 4 years?
We know that bride price is not that ambiguous and plenty. That's
I've seen lists. So I've seen
the list is not, or is not. There is a particular thing there that is the bride price. If you look at the list properly, so let the man do the bride price.
Okay, but you can do every other thing.
The woman can help him in entertainment, because now they are it's about their thing. Entertainment, she can be of help, but let the man pay for the bride price, which most times, you know, most people at most 20,000, 50,000 is not plenty. Some even take 150 naira. I've gone for a wedding that it was just 15 naira that the man took as bride price. So every other thing that was done, you know, the normal traditional things they do for. So, but when you talk about the woman, the woman proposing to the man, you know that whatever we do, you think about the future, and then what was God's original plan too. Because when it is done the other way around, it's always have repercussions. The man will always feel, especially when you say that he's delaying. You understand? If he's interested is one thing. Then if he's really, because you need to find out, why are you you know, this relationship, where is it going to? You need to find out so that you don't waste your time. If he said this is what I want to do, okay, then you look at so time. By so time, if nothing happens, I move on. You understand? Okay. At least that was an experience my sister had. So, and at so time, when she felt like she had waited for the young man enough, she moved on. Just few months after, she met her present husband. Okay. And she settled down. And there are people that some of those delays is not meant to, maybe you're not meant to be with that person. Just don't, as in, be forward. Like I said, some men, when the lady becomes too forward, they become scared, they withdraw.
Okay, so what do you have to say to the society? Because the first thing is the society that puts so much pressure on these women. So what do you have to say to the society?
Well, I think it is high time the society we understand that the pressure is not auguring well for our women. We have the high rate of divorce. The societal pressure is part of it. We have high rate of divorce. The society has made it that a woman, if it's not within that age bracket, she's already desperate. Any man that is available, even when you're not interested. You know that there are men that they will just be like, let's just pass, since she said she wants marriage. Yes, after 5 years I go my way. It's part of it. So society shouldn't go, you know, pressure us to that extent. And we too, that are the women, we shouldn't fall into that trap.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sure the audience, I'm sure you out there, you have learned a lot. Please, please, please do not put pressure on yourself. Just like our guests have said, relax, get busy, do something, and at the right time, your suitor will come, and then you will live happily ever after.
That's it.
The Cinderella story. Yes, everybody wants to be loved forever. I want to be loved forever. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope to call you again. I hope to have another interesting conversation with you. Thank you so much. And I must say that she has a charming smile. Oh my goodness, you have to come again. She just has to come again. Okay, it's been on this table shows on King's Prime TV, exclusive to King's Prime TV. You can catch this episode and previous episodes on our YouTube. All you have to do is just subscribe to our YouTube channel, share and like, and also you can download the King's Prime TV app via the Google Play Store or the iOS Store, and you also have access to lots and lots of interesting movies. Until next time, my name is Joy Dixon, and bye.